Okay. Good afternoon. We are here in Sala de Cafe. Today is September 14, 2022. We are here with Abe Ellis from your project. Could you please tell me again your project? I forgot the name.
Yes, it's called Talismo.
Talismo. Right. So yes, we were thinking. You were thinking in a way to do onboarding. So can you start over and what you were telling me, please?
I was talking about a potential for a Zoom integration with the Talismo app. And the Talismo app is basically a business service that can create token gating technology for people that don't know how to code. So that would open up possibilities for millions of people that have a reason and with the Gimbal apps tokens in particular, I was saying that people already earn them for attending all sorts of meetings. So, for example, because you could require that in order to claim a particular role or form have. You could also create situations whereby you must have a token to get into a Zoom call, and the completion of the Zoom call gives you another token that can get you into another class. So you can create a linear video series, and the final video, the final meeting, I suppose, would be like the end of a class series where you can be given a certificate of completion.
Got it. So it will be, you were telling me that you can go to the universities in Santiago and talk to your friend to do a sample. Tell me a little more about that. It would be great to have that done.
Well, we're talking about potentially giving free classes on blockchain to local universities. And if it was done through Zoom, it might be even more engaging. It doesn't have to be through a tokenized version of Zoom. These two ideas could be done separately.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, since I'm in Santiago now, I wouldn't mind helping to set up the room or do any other kind of coordination on the ground. But you could potentially have an entire series of lessons or a seminar that people can go to learn more about blockchain. You may want to require the purchase of an NFT to attend, or you may want to teach people how to make their first wallet and then send people an NFT after the class.
Yes, I think that would be great to do, just to see the possibilities and yeah. So at this point, just let me know when you have the contact established, and we just set up the schedule here, and we do a test, and we do the classes in Spanish. Who do you think will be the people that will attend to the class?
Oh, just probably students in the same university as my dev partner. So perhaps data science or computer security people.
Perfect. So that level, okay, good. So that way we can get involved people that can, talk that level of computer science or even blockchain, and then we go from there. Super. Well, let's say, when do you think we can start? We can go ahead with this or continue this conversation.
Well, let's talk again next week. I already have a list of universities saved in Google Maps that I haven't contacted yet. I don't know how I would get the ball rolling, since I don't think anybody that would pick up the phone would know English.
Mm-hmm.
But I could perhaps, if perhaps you want to send, I could do the legwork and the research. If you want to create a draft email in Spanish, I could send it to all of these people and add you as a CC.
Okay, that's good. Now, the other thing is that we can contact locals there, and we can talk about Sebastian from, I forgot the name of his YouTube program, and they can actually the one that transmitted the hackathon in Argentina. They can, you know, they speak English and Spanish, and they know blockchain. They have ISPO. That's an option too. I can talk to them.
If anybody has, I don't know, if I'm trying to think of entities with resources, it would be nice if we could convince one of the many museums and art galleries here in Santiago to host a little talk. It could really be as simple as like some sort of kiosk with the Zoom setup, a couple of printed materials, banners and whatnot, and put it on the schedule. It'd probably be included with admission into the event.
Great. You think museum and galleries because NFTs?
A couple of topics I think the general public would be interested in here would be the distribution rights for artists. There's a lot of artists here. They may be interested in understanding how they can become more independent doing business on the blockchain. There's probably a lot of interest in digital IDs here, but I don't really have any lead.
Right. And yeah, okay, perfect. Let me just work on that, and we go from there. Juanita, do you have any questions for Abe?
No, any questions? I very interesting of item for NFTs. I have Gimbals and Gimbals. It's for me very important token for the Cardano. It's very relevant the word James and Gimbals for Cardano, and it's very important. Have diffusion this program for Gimbals.
So I know you can earn Gimbal Labs tokens for attending different things, but what are they good for?
At this point, go ahead. Could you want to answer that, Juanita?
For me, Gimbal Labs is the project for most important of Catalyst. The education and the other teams for Gimbal Labs realize it. It's the unification of the Cardano spirit and the project Catalyst. Yeah, it's all the potential for change lives. Sorry, my English is very bad.
Perfect. It's just perfect.
While learning me.
Don't say that. Just keep going. You're doing well.
And for me, this Gimbal Labs is very important in the ecosystem of Catalyst.
Got it. Right. Yes. And another way to get the Gimbal token is, besides participation on the classes, on the lectures that we are putting together, or James is putting together with the team, is also which is not at this point. We are not awarding any Gimbals for that. But if anybody participates on the creation we are now in the zero phase of development of the tokenomics. Getting involved in that part of the project, it provides Gimbals to people who participate, as well as doing things like front end. Let's say my daughter, she did a little bit of work for a front end of one of the apps, and then she got a few thousand Gimbals. She's happy about it, and they have no monetary value, but they do have the reputational value that Gimbal Labs have and has, and I think that's going to be important in the near future. I wouldn't say in the future, but in the near future. I think it's a way to how monetization is going to evolve. Again, it doesn't have monetary value right now, but eventually people will provide that value when time comes. For what you say, Abe, to sign up for classes, or even as a one thing that can be done is assign a few thousands of tokens for a course, and whoever finishes the course gets, besides the NFT token for finishing, a few thousands of Gimbals per se, and that start creating the ball rolling. So that's the idea with that. That's everything needs to be done. So just be creative and start playing with that. Then let's say Swarm is I actually one of the guys from Latam translate, actually Kawe from Portugal, from Brazil. He translated a video that I put together about governance, for Gimbal Lab governance experiment, and I gave him Gimbals for that. So that's what is that way is operating right now.
Well, I mean, that's fine. You don't need to, you can come up with a redemption mechanism later, so long as you first come up with, you just have to have the proportions correct as it relates to the differences in perceived effort or merit related to different types of meetings or activities. So maybe you have no idea how many Gimbal Labs tokens will need to be redeemed to get a t-shirt, for example, because there's no understanding of its value. But at least for now, you can say, if you just show up to something, you can get 100 Gimbal tokens. But if you do some work for us, you get 10 times more, you get 1,000. So all you need to establish is the amount of tokens more that you would get per action. If that makes sense.
Right. The equivalency of energy involved on the transaction of anything that is done towards tokens, towards the Gimbal token. Right, exactly. That is something that the community, the Gimbal Labs community, is working really hard on. In reality, we do some experiments, but it's never enough. It's never enough to experiment with that. So there you go. Let's say we play with that idea. You just have all the Gimbal Labs community looking at your app, and yeah, that's a way to make it known and to help each other. Also, all those resources can be.
You could subsidize the cost. You could partner with other entities and subsidize the cost of whatever they're selling, if they are willing to accept Gimbal Labs tokens for it. So Future Fest, a metaverse, you could perhaps say, you can pay 10,000 Gimbal Labs tokens to get into this metaverse event, or this physical event for that matter.
Right, exactly. Yeah, they start doing alliances with entities the same way you buy a wallet for frequent flyer miles, same way. So it's a matter of just start doing those alliances and looking at partners to play with, you know, because the reality is that you know how much is how much energy and how much it takes to you guys to do the app in terms of time, resources, you know, and treasure, you know. So coming up with a equivalence in Gimbals, not only in Gimbals, of course, monetary value, but a company with Gimbals that will help as well.
I love
Like-
Gimbals, but I have only 5 Gimbals.
Really? Okay. Well,
It's so sad.
but you will have ways to get. I can tell you many ways to get them.
For me, it's very important. I believe in Gimbal apps for all the things, but
Right.
it's so sad. Only 5 Gimbals.
No, it's fine. I mean, you have that. You know exactly what they are worth it, and you know the value. And this is just the beginning. So
Is there a way for you to add liquidity to a DEX to provide trading on gimbal tokens?
no, that's exactly what is being avoided, because we don't want to. I mean, the idea with this is more. It's kind of a different level, even though it's a strategy that started as a way to
It's for
pay
the
or to.
reputation.
Could you repeat
It's
that?
reputational. The
Reputation? Yes. But the initial idea of doing the monetary exercise, I mean the Gimbals, had to do with looking for ways to pay for the people that comes.
We meet a minute Latam team for the town hall tomorrow. I gotta go.
Didn't get that, Juanita. Okay. So yeah, that was the initial idea with that, and that's what is not is the idea is not to start with monetization, but start with another way to make that valuable and leave the community to put the value on it, if that makes sense. I don't know. I mean, you know, you just heard her. Juanita has 5, and she wished to have much more, and you know, same as the people that made the translation for us in the governance team. They received, I don't remember, I think it was 200 of 300, and they realized that was the value of making a translation. So if we evaluate how much is the cost of a translation in monetary value in dollars or any other coin, then when asked, we can actually give equivalency. But remember that equivalency has to do with use, with opportunity, with many other factors. So yeah, but it's something that needs to be done, and it will be done. But I think it's too early, and I mean, getting into providing monetary value opens up many doors that perhaps that will distract the purpose of the whole project. So that's the way I see it. This is not official. That's the way I read that and understand it. But yeah, again, we can. I mean, things can be done on that front.
Yeah, the questions about the technology does not really bother me so much as the purpose. if you could accomplish anything at all, what is the purpose of these Gimbal tokens? I mean, we understand the intent is to incentivize participation, right? But beyond that, I think we just have a problem where we're in an open field where anything is possible. So it's not like a puzzle with one piece missing. And there's just too many possibilities to think of the right answer.
Right. But I don't know how many tokens are there that have the backup this token has. You know, I don't see that many in the market. Or well, that is the niche that that is intended for the Gimbal token. It kind of put scientific research and in education in a token. Interesting. I don't know. There are a lot of questions out of that, but yeah, that's the status of that at this point.
I could see a situation where people literally work together on Zoom and are perhaps not necessarily talking or presenting at all times, but are simply on Zoom as a matter of showing up for work. And if you have rather small groups that have a rather small Zoom rooms that have a particular assigned purpose, like related to a working sprint of some kind, then I know through the Zoom API, there's potential for, as an example, a minting service to send you Gimbal tokens for every hour that you're in the Zoom call. So that's kind of like a work tracker almost. You're just being paid by the hour to show up.
Right. With a specific Zoom call, not everyone, right?
Yeah, so you have to be like an employee or a team member. You have to be a person that has a specific purpose for showing up to that call because it's a working area. That the specific ID of that Zoom call might be correlated to a work order of some kind.
Right, exactly.
And perhaps you can earn tokens for being on the call just as a way of like tracking your hours. And then perhaps you can award Gimbal tokens as a bounty, 100,000 Gimbal tokens if you submit proof of work that is validated.
Got it. Yeah, with that has been done. The bounty part is something ready. We have Roberto Cerrud. How are you, Roberto?
I'm pretty good. Joining late, I think.
Super, but you're here. And thank you for coming. I appreciate that very much. We are here talking to Eli about his project. I still have to look for that. Talismo.io, which is, Abe, can you tell us, can you tell Robert a little bit about the project, please?
It's a no-code solution for NFT utility.
Exactly.
Oh, sounds good. I'm actually right now working on an NFT engine for Emurgo Academy for the certificate, so I get where you're going from.
Yeah, I guess it's like NFT maker in that you don't need to be a developer to use it, but its purpose is to apply functionality, on-page functionality relating to tokens without needing to know how to code.
Have you considered alignment with the standards, for example, like the electronic badge and electronic certificate standards? Just,
Oh, I don't know
just
anything about that.
because I found that on my own process, and that also aligns with certificates on SSI with Atala Prism and the like. So if it doesn't need, I'm just making random questions out of what you just told me. So don't worry if I'm out of the picture.
Yeah, this solution can be used as a form of digital ID, I suppose, but it's probably not. It's definitely not a replacement for Atala Prism. Its only purpose really is to associate NFT ownership with a particular action, and that action could be the return of stored information on our sidechain, and that would be the ID part. So if Talismo is used to validate NFTs as event tickets, then that's arguably a form of digital ID where you confirm that you are allowed to enter. But it's definitely not a DID project.
And then we were actually brainstorming in ways to include Gimbals as a way to incentivize participation and also move the Gimbals. So we were playing with that as well.
Yeah, we liked the idea that we could handpick other partners that perhaps have fun things going on. And instead of inventing our own rewards every time, to establish an agreement with that partner for a redemption system for the Gimbal tokens, so that Gimbal tokens can be used for many different things over time, including free products, free items with delivery, entry into events, access to a movie. And we were saying that the problem is not the technology, but the purpose. What are we trying to do exactly in terms of like the behavioral dynamics of a proof of attendance token?
Very interesting project. I think it's yeah, I think it's great to have just the project even without the Zoom part. It's super valuable, super good. And yeah, I hope you guys will be funded for this fund, and that will solve all your problems, I guess, right?
Yeah, it sounds really good. We need more easy to access from non-programmer solutions. So the whole ecosystem needs more.
Mm-hmm. You're muted. Onboarding, yeah. You're muted.
Every dApp that's being developed assumes that all of the users are already familiar with Cardano, which is in one way it's obvious, like, yeah, you have to at least know how to have a browser wallet to interact with these dApps, but nobody's considered the possibility it doesn't have to be like that. If you have a music dApp, then why would you why would you restrict yourself to having only customers within the Cardano community instead of the rest of the planet? So we're hoping that this can become a way for business owners that don't have the interest or the capacity to really get into crypto heavily to still leverage the benefits of crypto for their business in the ways that they understand it naturally. Let's take Costco, for example. You know, to get into Costco, you have to have a membership card to enter the store. And a membership card is easily something that can be used as an NFT. A token gated NFT, where the consequence of a token gate passing is the customer's membership information, would be an analogy to that.
Ivan, tell us about this clock that you have in your app. Let me just actually share that.
Club?
Yeah, clock.
Oh, clock.
Am I presenting now?
Yeah. Oh, that's the time. That's the time that I promised Project Catalyst that the app would be launched by. October 31st. Although we, we'll probably be on time. We may need another month because the Vasil hard fork testnet code keeps changing, and a lot of people have had issues with that.
Right. So
It's beautiful. I love it. Wow. Wow. Love it.
Make content is exclusive.
Yeah, if you are, if you're making a movie or you have a comic book or an animation, any kind of content of value, you want to put it on a web page that has a token gate on it, and then sell the token that provides the access.
Proof of attendance, any event in a class or a concert.
Yeah, so you can create a token that will provide access to an RSVP form or an embedded presentation of some kind.
Media production, you just spoke about it. Monetize live streams. That's a great use.
Wow. So good.
And
if you
then
click on in the menu on the top, use cases, I believe there are 9. Who it's for, yeah.
who is for? Okay.
So here you'll see what's really happening is I'm explaining the same product 9 different times, but I'm speaking in a language that is native to the audience. So the pages or the pink buttons go to pages with more information about the features that will be included in version 1. And then the yellow buttons they talk about advanced features that are not going to be included. But if somebody wants to pay us to make it, then we would.
So authenticity and ownership, you can develop on that, but it's open request as well as some integration. Okay. And e-commerce, okay, as well as event management.
It's very interesting, the
Got it.
Art galleries don't always create certificates of authenticity because they're expensive to make. But here you can provide certificates, digital certificates up front for all items.
All right.
And the museum or the gallery can make money selling ownership of an item. The item can sell 1,000 times and only be shipped, it only be delivered one time. You can even sell ownership of sculptures that are too large to deliver. So the sculpture can earn royalties on sales, but it will never actually be sent anywhere. You're just changing the official ownership.
One thing I know about the art industry is that they are very traditional. They have a huge gap to adopt technology for this. But I think it's moving really fast because it solves many issues, not only transportation but storage. So yes, this is a very good use.
And I would tell them, think of it as just a super receipt, a receipt of purchase.
Mhm. Very good. Any questions, guys? Roberto.
None at the moment, learning.
Karen, you got the link on the chat, right?
I fascinate with this project.
Thanks.
Love it.
Yes.
Thank you.
And the link is on the chat, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm not sure if Roberto was able to get it. Let me just send it back. Send it again.
No, you will have to share to me again because I don't see it on my chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just sent it to you again. I just sent it to the chat again. So it's there. Very good. So was no, Roberto? Don't worry about speaking Spanish because I know him. He's in Chile right now, and he may like to
Sorry,
practice
say
his
again.
Spanish. Right. No, I was saying that. What's going on with you? What happened? How is how's it going?
No, pretty good. I'm working now on the new content for Cardano Solutions Architect warm-up sessions that is starting this weekend. And we are pretty happy with how the content is coming along. In the wordings of the guys from the front lines, as we like to call them, we are providing something that nobody else is. So actually that actually adds up for the ecosystem, and even for Haskellers alone, we're trying to, there's some sensible content that is very highly usable for only Haskellers, but mainly, of course, for Cardano developers, the full stack solution. And on the Catalyst front end, we are on an interesting stage. Like when you finish your first stage of funding, no more funding, and you need to see what's next. It's becoming very interesting from that fact. Kind of constrained, but at the same time, the enthusiasm on the collaborators is still high. There are people that even have offered their wages so we, like don't pay me so we can keep going, stuff like that. So it's very nice. It's very interesting. But now it's another stage of the process now. So what to do now? We've been focused into third-party venture capital since the get-go for some specific experiences that we have. So we don't feel so like feet in the air or no stable ground, but still it has its own level of complication to deal with with the process where we are. So keeping the hypes up. Right now, I don't think it's going to be a problem. I guess 1 or 2 months down the road is also going to be a problem. But the other side of that coin is that we have this knowledge of experience, knowledge base of experience gained through the process that we think we can monetize, so we can keep the main project still working as a side effect or as a consequence of that. So we're going to see what happens. So that's what is happening with me on a shell.
Gotcha. Good. He's doing a great job with the work. And yeah, I guess what you guys were actually, I think you guys were the first to start monetizing this blockchain school, I guess. That's the way I see it, because you started with Emurgo started with that program, and it's been very successful. It always gather at least 35 to 40 people to learn. So it's great. Even though not that many ends finish the course, but they about 35 people start every course. That's what I noticed.
We call it Squid Games.
Got it.
It do happen in all the courses. I mean, Haskell sometimes just get in and they find it too hard, or they don't have the time to dedicate to learn it properly, and they feel lost. They change batches, or and then the batches goes from 40, 30, 8, and 6. But usually that's like the crowd, like the dedicated bunch. On every batch, there's always 8 to 6 that becomes like the regulars, and then there will be like 3 to 4 that will present final project.
Exactly.
Because final project will take more time, and people basically just don't have the time or didn't. Now, I even seen project presented like 1 year later. So it's not everything is lost in the Squid Games, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Haskell requires time to internalize and to learn. It's not just to take in the class, but you have to really work on that to learn. That's my experience. So that's why I'm taking my time to do it as well. And I'll take as many classes as needed to do it. And that's the beauty of being with Emurgo as well. You don't have a limitation on that, which is great. And yeah, but this is not just taking the class and thinking that with that is enough. It requires a lot of work on the study part. So yeah, but it's great. I'm part of batch 59, and yeah, we are in Bluetooth part of the class, and yeah, learning. You are with me actually, right? We are together in class, I think.
I think it's hard for me to keep track of those details now, but it's very likely. I'm usually right now we are only 2 of us taking care of the Bluetooth part. That will be Luis Restrepo and me.
I'm taking Luis' class, yeah.
And on the native scripting, we are 3, including Bahara. So there's not many people on the CDP, I mean, Cardano Developer Professional part. And for Cardano Solutions Architect, I think there's Philip, and I don't remember the guy from MLabs. So I'm gonna be like starting the warm-up parts. So because some of the learners coming from old batches probably have 1 or 2 months that they haven't seen a line of Bluetooth code. So we're gonna review an advanced validator, something production ready. And then from that, it's gonna get into the goodies of the Cardano Solutions Architect.
Super. I look forward to see these emerge with Gimbals' work, and then Talismo and tokens and Gimbals project. I mean, that's the end. I mean, we all have to work together to make this happen and facilitate things for students.
I think Bahara talked with James, and I'm not sure if that's gonna get into it. I think Dandelion is in the content of the CSA on the part of infrastructure related content. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some Dandelion, at least it's gonna be mentioned. James and Baharat were having their own conversations about that part. I am not part of that conversation, so I don't know the details. I'm on the Gimbal Labs Bluetooth-based learning. It's a great different way of, it's a great complement to the Bluetooth Pioneer, actually. And it helps to give another perspective of what we are doing on Emurgo Academy.
You just need a way to monetize access to your classes, and a token gate might be the solution for that.
But I think Emurgo is doing it because
No, we're not doing with a token, but actually I agree with what just been said, because on IU, the Catalyst project, we are right now looking into monetization through NFTs as donation. It will be something in the lines of, if an academy wants to donate places on a course, they will buy NFTs that will be representation of these donations. And also the course seats, in a sense, are also probably going to be NFTs as key cards, and the NFTs as key card model. So I think I completely agree with that idea. Now, it needs to be done in a very sensible and transparent way, or at least that's what I think it should be, especially on the Catalyst space. But if you do it the right way, it's a good way of doing it. Kind of a crowdsourcing. There's a crowdsourcing. No, that's a word. I'm forgetting the word in. Cuando tienes causas, yeah, crowdsourcing is good costing, something like that.
got it. There is Lucas here. Hi, Lucas.
Hi, Lucas. Yo estaba feliz porque Roberto estaba hablando en
Your
español.
sound is not audible for some reason. This is supposed to be in Spanish, but we end up practicing our English.
It's necessary for me to practice English. But
Of course, for all of us, everybody, even for Abe.
I have something to do in about 5 minutes. But good talking to you guys.
Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm going to put this video available for you to take whatever part you needed. And yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Much
We'll
appreciated.
keep the conversation going. The idea with the university is great. And actually,
thank you, Abraham.
Lucas will like that, to hear about that as well. Because,
All right. I'll
yeah,
hit you up on Discord.
we'll keep in touch. Okay, well, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Take care. So now, can we switch to Spanish now? Are you okay with that, Lucas?
Yeah, for me, that's perfect.
Perfect.
Yes,
Or Portuguese, but
Spanish.
you have to teach
Spanish.
us.
Muy interesante lo que está exponiendo ahora, Abraham.
Sí,
Me encantó.
muchísimo, muchísimo. Bastante interesante.
Sí.
Talismo, tú estuviste en el playground ayer de Talismo, ¿verdad, Lucas? ¿No? Estuvo Abe Simos dándonos una charla un poquito más profunda o más de detalle de lo que es las aplicaciones que se pueden hacer con Talismo. Bien interesante. Hablaba de muchos usos. Te voy a colocar la propuesta en el chat. Tú ya lo viste, tú ya estuviste expuesto a ella, pero here is again. Sí. Y Roberto nos estaba contando todo lo que está haciendo en Emurgo, que es bien interesante. Cuéntanos, Lucas, en qué están tu proyecto de onboarding, que es espectacular. Yo creo que es uno de los mejores proyectos para lo que se necesita en este momento. Porque los desarrolladores todos están ocupados, pero nosotros los no desarrolladores, si queremos aprender, no hemos podido ocuparnos y necesitamos proyectos como el tuyo para poder on board.
I can't really reply in Spanish, but I fully understand. I'm just going to say that this is like for between like 5 initiatives, and like one of them is like a funded proposal between from Locks, not in Catalyst, but I have other projects that are more developed, and the Cardano for non-technicals is something that's really very, very naive and improvised, but it is one of the most gratifying one. And it's starting to become a bit of snowball effect where I'm starting to think maybe I'll write a proposal for it and everything. So I'm just going to drop a link on the chat as we do.
Perfect. Super. Thank you.
And we're looking for someone. Actually, I'm starting to talk with people in French, in Portuguese myself, but I'm talking with a colleague of mine who is a trainer because I'm not officially a trainer.
Yet.
Well, I am a certified trainer for 20 years ago from back, but I've never really made a full-time job out of it. And so, yeah, I'm talking with 1 or 2 people that may run a parallel course in Spanish.
Awesome.
So that's one of them is actually from Citaldoc. I think he's the CTO of Citaldoc.
Okay.
Andre, I'm not sure. I was chatting with him yesterday. Yeah, let's see. Juanita, you maybe know him, no?
Desde luego, yo lo conozco. I know him. Yes.
Yeah, Daniel. Well,
Daniel.
let's see if he takes on the challenge, or maybe Sebastian, but I'm not sure if Sebastian has the availability as well. But you know, it's very open source type of project. You have from that link I just dropped you have 1 Google Sheet and 1 Google Doc, and that's everything. I have almost no notes on my computer apart from what's published. So you can literally, without me knowing, just go there, copy the documents and start running your own course, putting it to your own YouTube channel. And that's all I do. It's like now we have a Discord chat as well, where we're trying to accumulate some more discussions. I may do a Miro board, but I'm trying to avoid complicated tools, but I'm probably going to do the Miro board. Do you think it's too technical?
No, I think it's great because that helps you visualize. It's just straightforward. I think it's one of the most straightforward apps that help you, at this stage, at the stage of non-technical. It's great because it helps you see the big picture. And yeah, I think it's great. It's a tool that
because I've started to create some notes now about sort of a backlog of things that we can work on next sessions. And instead of creating a survey or something like that, I thought of creating a Miro board where people can grab some tokens to represent themselves and go and vote on topics just by putting those little buttons closer, bring their post-its closer to whatever they want to work on next sessions.
Super.
But yeah. So what about you guys?
Good.
You've been speaking here for a long time. I'm sorry. I don't want to make you repeat yourselves. Okay.
No. We were going around and talking to all of the projects that people come and what people is doing, what they are at. Roberto was telling us how involved is him with Emurgo on the certificate, on the putting together the certificates that people will get when they finish the courses. And yeah, so yeah, that was.
So I never really understood Emurgo Academy. Is it really working inside Emurgo company, or is it just a parallel independent company of Emurgo?
Emurgo Academy is a branch of Emurgo Global.
Okay.
So we work on their Murasaki-san and Popeye from Indonesia, or parallel to Popeye, or CEO Iri.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I'm
but
really
the
curious
independent
about your
funding, I
work.
think, right, Roberto?
Second?
Emurgo Academy has independent funding for what they do.
That's a great question, which answer I don't know.
I think
we're on part of the global budget. or maybe some form of site budget, but I have no access to Emurgo Academy's numbers. So that's just my guessing due to the way that it's been managed. We do have guidelines. I mean, we are all in the Emurgo Scala. What's the name of this? I always forgot. I don't use it that much. One of the messengers that it's nope.
Yeah,
Should have
it's a Telegram, I think.
not
Right?
Telegram. That something that sounds like oh my God. I
Discord.
cannot forget. Nope, another. Not WhatsApp. Not
WhatsApp.
the one for business. That is it travels. I mean, announced, marketed as a business version of them.
Oh, LinkedIn. LinkedIn. LinkedIn.
Nope. Let me find it. Let me give me just one second.
Now I would like to know which is the one.
Yeah, I am. Oh my God, my computer is not responding. Probably have it.
Anyway, we can get that info later.
What we are on the global chat with them. We participate on the Emurgo's weekly town halls. Or CEO meets with the other. You can. It's like all the managers meetings on last time I think was on Singapore. I think. So we are following Emurgo global guidelines to some extent, but of course, being the academic side, we decide, I think, or management decide its own course on that matter. But and we are aiming right now to service actually Emurgo Foundation. I mean, Cardano Foundation, IOHK, and Emurgo personnel, which is kind of nice because we're trying to. It's gonna be a great metric, and of course, it's like everything else. Like why don't the Emurgo Academy charge in crypto when it should? But not that's because the financials of Emurgo Academy are in India, so they cannot even mention that they're charging with crypto because that's against the law. But there right now, I think the policy is to. When I'm speaking in English.
No, it's okay. I mean,
okay, for everybody to understand, actually, because the question was in English.
No, and also Lucas.
For me, you can speak in Spanish. I understand everything. I just cannot say a word of Spanish because it takes me a half hour to warm up.
Yeah, the policy is right now to be able to.
Inglés, pero lo pienso en inglés.
Yeah, the policy to charge in crypto cannot be announced. So cannot be published, cannot be announced. So, but if you request to pay in crypto right now, as far as I know, you should be able to. So that's what I know because we are in the global Emurgo IO domain. We got access to some of the resources as Emurgo employees. So yeah, we're part of Emurgo as a whole, but management is independent, and we answer to Evie. And Evie alone. Of course, we can get scolded by Murasaki-san, but that doesn't happen, hopefully, because I don't think you're going to survive after that. And of course, we attend everything Emurgo-related communication, but we work pretty much independently. And from my point of view, under Baharat, on the tech team for Emurgo Academy, I don't even talk to Evie that much. Like mostly group meetings and I mean team meetings. So all the team meetings, and there's these management to personnel meetings that we have. Actually, I think it's like 2 times or 1 time a month. No, actually that's 2 times a month. So that's how it is internally.
Super. Great answer for the question. Thank you. So yes, I think what is happening now is a special moment because you can come, create a solution, and just bring the solution here, and a lot of people.
Juan, yo voy a empezar a intentar hablar en español,
vale,
solamente para que tú hables en español.
Perfecto.
¿De acuerdo?
Okay.
Ok, buenísimo.
Pensando que nuestros idiomas.
Vale, que es un muy buen momento el que está pasando, el que estamos viviendo, porque hay muchas oportunidades de onboarding, muchas oportunidades de desarrollar programas como el que Lucas está haciendo. Vaya, un programa que salió de la iniciativa, no solamente la iniciativa del corazón de Lucas, estoy seguro cuéntanos un poquito, Lucas, cómo empezó Cardano for No Technical. ¿Qué te motivó? What was the driver?
Ha sido una experiencia que era
Ujú.
supuesto ser una vez o dos veces. Ya estamos en la quinta vez. Lo programa continúa. Y ahora tengo ese desafío, challenge,
Ese reto, ese desafío, sí.
ese reto de comenzar, de empezar a hacerlo fluir en otras lenguas. Entonces, si eso sorry, it's just, you see, it's
Perfecto,
really
no,
too
keep going.
slow. It's too slow.
No, es perfecto. No creas que está muy bien.
Mientras intento traer los formadores de las otras lenguas, yo voy a estar practicando un poquito más y voy a aumentar, agrandir mi equipo de alumnos. Entonces, creo que una cosa va a alimentar la otra.
Definitivamente, definitivamente. Y déjame decirte que tu español es excelente, así que no, ni lo pienses que lento, nada,
No,
absolutamente.
sí,
Antes
es
mejor, más
portuñol,
claro.
es portuñol. La
Además, pues
pronuncian
tiene
¿cómo?
acento español,
Sí,
Español.
español.
Ok.
Nosotros no. Nosotros,
sí,
Juan y yo tenemos otro tipo de acento.
Ujú.
definitivamente.
Vale.
¿Qué decía Lucas? Que vienen más programas entonces y te estás expandiendo a cubrir otros idiomas. Qué excelente. Adelante,
Por-
Juanito.
Perdón, yo pregunto, ¿es Lucas, el plan de Lucas es como una escuela de idiomas? ¿O algo
no, no,
así?
no, no, no. Puedes, yo voy a
Ujú.
partillar el link nuevamente.
Ok.
Si vas por allá, ese abres YouTube, el link de YouTube, el primero, podrás ver las sesiones que hacemos. Entonces, todo el gesto es en torno de las sesiones prácticas. Cuando empezamos cada día, casi que sorteamos un dibujo, un draft de lo que vamos a intentar hacer. No, lo concepto es de enseñar Cardano a personas no técnicas, a tu hijo o a tu padre o a tu abuelo. Pero ahora comienzo a hacer un poco de estamos hay muchas versiones de en el libro de la nueva, entonces estamos buscando eso. Sí, entonces hoy, por ejemplo, yo he tenido que hacer una sesión casi toda la presentación y muy poca práctica, pero en las próximas sesiones lo objetivo es pocas explicaciones y el máximo de juego, de hands-on.
Wow,
Qué bien.
súper interesante. Yo voy a empezar a mirar ahorita. A ver si
Vale.
aprendo alguito.
Claro, ese sería buenísimo que vinieras. La
Pero
hora de las reuniones son los miércoles UTC. ¿Cuál es el tiempo de UTC?
el
No lo tengo.
11 UTC,
11 UTC. Ok.
O sea,
pero
a 5 de la mañana acá.
pues
6 tal vez para ti. Para mí 7. Sí,
Sí, 6. 6 de la mañana.
exacto.
Wow, pues sí,
maybe
voy a.
maybe we can do a breakout room whenever you guys do breakout rooms in the Latam. Maybe I can be there and do a bit of the sessions with some of you, but I will need someone maybe I don't know if I can prepare that in Spanish. It's going to be really
Claro
weird.
que sí, tú lo haces muy bien. Lo haces
Y no me
supremamente
importa,
bien.
si quieres un breakout room en la TAM, lo podemos organizar porque me parece súper importante.
Pero no es todas las sesiones que vosotros hacen los breakouts.
Sí, en
Entonces,
general, dependiendo de lo que hagamos, sí.
hmm,
Pero en el 95% de los town hall tenemos breakout. Entonces
ok.
tú puedes solicitar abrir tu breakout para hablar, por ejemplo, de tu tema. y sería me parece que sería muy importante. Además, porque
Okay.
vamos generando partners.
Pero I have some curiosity about from all the, for example, the town hall, the weekly one has 120 people. Those people are mostly already in Cardano. They already know how to use wallets, right? So that's the thing. The challenge here is to go one level out in terms of connections and networking, one level out of all those 120 people, or for LATAM 30 people or 40 that are in the town hall, and for them to be able to bring their cousin, their brother, their someone else to come and participate in that town hall. So maybe with the pretext of coming to have a lesson, maybe they could also attend the LATAM town hall.
Claro, claro.
So I don't know. It's a matter of aligning things a bit.
Sí, es cierto. De hecho, te digo algo, de hecho también hay un grupo que se llama Aldea. Aldea es un grupo bastante interesante, vaya, tiene una antigüedad increíble. Ellos llevan muchísimo tiempo haciendo, son muy elaborados, han hecho bastante trabajo. Y no sé si ellos podrían, por ejemplo, Adriano de Game Changer siempre ha presentado ahí. Entonces, esa es otra oportunidad buenísima para onboarding, traer todo esto a nueva gente. Aldea, ellos tienen creo que es en la tarde de los viernes. Para mí la tarde es como ¿qué? No sé, realmente no tengo el horario de ellos, pero podría averiguártelo. I can research that
Okay,
and
vale.
pass it by to you.
De acuerdo.
Sí, porque es clave. Esto es importantísimo y creo que es uno de las cosas que más barrera hacen al adulto como yo y sin conocimiento técnico, ¿no? El tiempo que se demora una persona en hacer, como en aflojar la parte técnica, tiene que ver con cositas elementales que tú las estás cubriendo. Me parecen geniales, geniales. O sea que yo creo que el éxito sí, va a ser muy grande. ¿Te decías algo, Juanita?
Sí, que otra cosa que iba a decir es que me parece genial que estén rompiendo la barrera del idioma, porque para muchas personas, por ejemplo, yo he hablado con mucha gente y están muy interesados, pero les cuesta el inglés, porque en Latinoamérica no todos tenemos acceso a aprender inglés u otros idiomas. Entonces, cuando tú haces un proyecto como el que tienes, en que estás tomando en cuenta otras lenguas, me parece supremamente importante y eso atrae, o sea, atrae muchas nuevas cosas hacia lo que estamos haciendo en Talismo y en Cardano y en todos los nodos que tenemos. Yo con Juan inicialmente quería traer mujeres y las sigo queriendo traer, pero también tengo metido en la cabeza que hay que romper la barrera del idioma.
De hecho, este proceso que Lucas está haciendo es genial para onboarding, para traer mujeres al grupo, ¿no? Porque, o a Cardano, porque ya, toca lo más importante, que es la parte técnica en términos muy simples. Que de hecho, Lucas lo hace muy bien, por cierto.
Yeah, well, I think that the main thing is to forget about the technical and to just see the same way, because nowadays most of us have a Revolut app or some other app, right? I don't know you have which ones you use in Latin America, but in Portugal we have a Portuguese government or almost a Portuguese app that is used to send in and receive money, euros. And it's the same way, just that the same way that those applications have been shared between people, we need to share Eternal Wallet or Nami Wallet or Flint or some wallet. And just people need to get used to, because are you not used to having these apps locally in your local currencies, local fiat currencies, no? Where you can
Perdona, ¿cuál
send
fue la
and,
pregunta?
sorry?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah. So currently in Portugal, we have a Portuguese banking application, which is used almost everywhere, and you can pay with your phone, with a QR code or something. You can transfer from people, between people, almost for zero cash instantly. Do you not have these applications in your traditional banks as well? Not sure Juanita is listening to us now.
¿Tú qué crees, Juanita?
Qué pena.
Estás muy...
Es que como estamos preparando Town Hall, entonces me piden cosas. Juan, ¿me
entiendo.
repites la pregunta?
I was just asking if you have
Aló.
local apps.
¿Qué? Hi,
Hello.
Juan.
Estás
think
bien, te
we're-
estamos escuchando.
Lucas, you can.
Yeah, we have
Can
a
you-
delay between us. Sorry. So I'm just asking.
Sí, sí, me repites la pregunta.
Okay. So currently in Portugal, we have an application by the Portuguese banks, like in euros, where we can transfer money between each other very quickly, but it's going through the traditional banks. And what I was saying is that the challenge is to get people, instead of using this in Portugal, that they use a Cardano wallet and they start understanding that it's better because it's independent of banks. Do you not have these traditional bank apps in Latin America?
Oh,
Bancolombia
sí.
has an app. I mean, you use a debit card.
Mhm.
Pero para el manejo de wallets, más que los bancos tipo Bancolombia, hay una app en Colombia que se llama Nequi,
Okay.
que es la app que nosotros estamos, te lo voy a anotar, que es la que nos permite, por ejemplo, hacer el
Ujú.
trading.
Okay.
Trade
Trade.
es el
Ok.
cambio.
Os cambios. El cambio.
El cambio.
De acuerdo.
Exacto.
Vale.
Para, por ejemplo, de las wallets que tenemos, para transformarlo en pesos, por ejemplo.
Ujú.
Entonces, Nequi, que termina siendo, que es de Bancolombia realmente, que es el banco más tradicional de Colombia,
Ujú.
pero te permite hacer eso mejor aún que con Bancolombia. Eso es lo que estamos utilizando.
Pero Nequi no trabaja con criptos, es solo
No, Nequi no. O sea, lo que te permite es
es eso.
hacer
Vale.
el cambio. Pero
Vale.
en Colombia realmente, hasta ahora no sé, pero puedo buscar información de qué bancos están trabajando con cripto en Colombia
Ujú.
y qué tipo de
Vale.
cripto.
Vale.
Me imagino que Bitcoin y
Entonces, mi objetivo no sería que Nequi empiece a utilizar cripto, pero que nuestra experiencia para los alumnos sea la misma forma que un amigo va al café y presenta Nequi a un otro amigo y empieza a transferir monedas para él, que eso se pase tan simplemente con Cardano. Ese es lo objetivo, porque esas apps como Nequi tienen un departamento de marketing, de imagen, de user experience, todo es optimizado y facilitado. La cripto, las personas complican mucho, porque no es la moneda actual, es ADA, porque nosotros que estamos enseñando, tenemos siempre porque es la palabra clave, los diferentes comunicados, comienzan a tener miedo. Entonces, por eso que yo en la sección utilizamos Cardano de brincar, test ADA. La persona, mismo que no sea muy acostumbrada a utilizar el computador, nosotros dice computador también, sí. La persona puede grabar las cifras de un fichero de texto, porque no hay el riesgo de seguridad, es solamente para aprender. Entonces, con esa práctica, cuando la persona realmente va a comprar Cardano verdadero, la única diferencia es que en lugar de tener un fichero de texto dentro del computador, ella va a escribir en un papel para nunca guardar copias digitales de esa palabra. Entonces la curva de entrada se facilita un poco, especialmente porque yo intento mostrar los NFTs, las imágenes, los pequeños. En Gimbal Labs nosotros estamos produciendo un juego, desarrollando un juego. Entonces vamos a intentar lanzar eso en la testnet. Eventualmente no sé si vamos a hacerlo en la mainnet, pero vamos a intentar desarrollar por ahí.
¿Sabes quién está trabajando para pago, pero no en Colombia, en Argentina?
Ujú.
Hay Juan Pablo Barrientos.
Ok,
¿Juan Pablo qué?
Juan
Hay
Pablo.
Juan Pablo, es que no me acuerdo el apellido.
ok.
Ellos tienen como un hotel y
Oh,
ellos
ya.
permiten pago con hadas en el
Sí,
hotel.
sí, sí. Él tiene un hotel
Entonces,
en la Patagonia.
Es Hotel
se
Cardano, que
podría averiguar
tiene
con
en
ellos
el
cómo se
YouTube y
hace.
todo eso.
No, Hotel Cardano está en España, pero
Ok,
este,
ok.
este está en la Patagonia y hace poco empezaron a trabajar con Ada y él es, incluso él es programador. Y perdona, Juanita, continúa.
Qué pena se cortó.
Ah, ¿qué nos decías? Disculpa.
Que yo no sé, pero me imagino que tiene implementada una wallet
Ujú.
para poder realizar el pago con hadas. Entonces
Ujú.
pienso que por ahí se podría que se pongan en contacto y ver cómo se puede traer eso para otras partes. Creo yo que
Ujú.
podría ser una buena idea. No sé ustedes qué piensan.
Sí. Juan
Definitivamente.
Pablo.
Pero Juan
Ah,
Sí,
Pablo,
déjame
ok.
lo busco el nombre, pero no recuerdo el apellido en este momento,
Juan
pero
Pablo.
Ese Daniel de Citaldoc, vosotros creen que él tendrá tiempo para trabajar conosco en esta iniciativa o él es muy...
es muy
ah,
ocupado. Él es muy ocupado, pero él es
Daniel,
también igual muy organizado y estoy seguro que si hablaste con él y ya tienes,
mm,
él va a poder hacerlo, sí, muy bueno.
vale.
o
Daniel
con Sophie,
de Citaldoc.
Ajá.
Sophie,
eh,
o Sophie también, claro que
O top
Sophie es,
Sofía.
Sophie, que es la de
Sí,
marketing de
tal doc.
Cital.
Ok.
Sí,
Sofía,
ella trabaja.
yo la he convidado para venir a las sesiones, pero ella es muy ocupada también. Yo lo he convidado para para aprender y después ella propia ser la profesora, pero ella me ha dicho que tiene muchas cosas. Es un ejercicio de descontracción y de improviso para ir para esas sesiones de abertura, porque no sabemos todo y tenemos que asumir eso.
Sí. Bueno, lo que pasa es que Sophie también tiene el lío que estudia medicina, entonces
Ujú,
es
vale,
complicado.
es muy complicado.
Ya, exacto.
Vale,
Muy bien. Me dice Roberto que se le fue la electricidad y no pudo, se tuvo que ir. Así que ya,
Ah,
bueno, pero muy
vale.
bien.
Me debo ir para cenar, comer,
Ujú.
dinner,
cenar, comer, aquí cenamos.
Cenar, muy bien.
cenar.
Cenar, sí. Muy
Vale,
bien, yo
gracias,
ando.
gracias por la oportunidad de practicar un poquito.
A
Para mí
ti.
es un poco más difícil porque yo soy portugués y he pasado los últimos 4 años focado en el francés. Entonces,
Campeón.
es por eso que yo he dicho que me demora, me llevo un poco de tiempo, un rato, a calentar mi español because I've always started. The French is like my brain. Instead of going the French way, it keeps. I want it to go Spanish, and it keeps using. It's really weird. For me,
Sí.
Portuguese is native. English is second language. I never studied English. I've always been fluent because in Portugal, all the television is with the audio in English, and we read the subtitles in Portuguese. So since we are 5-year-olds watching cartoons or something, especially in the 80s when I grew up, you were hearing the English and you were reading the subtitles, and that's why we become bilingual. And then I was in London for 3 years, and only now for the last 4 years I've been working with my French, and I can say it's really hard because it's my second language. After being bilingual in Portuguese and English, French is what I'm trying to become my second language for 4 years, and that's why Spanish is a bit harder for me now. But I need to start practicing both now.
But you know, even though you think it's hard for you, you're doing it very well, because you know it's very understandable and clear, and yeah.
Gracias.
Oh,
Pero
sure.
Your Spanish is better for my English.
okay.
Y el mío también.
Gracias.
Literal.
Gracias. Okay. Thank you so much for this little piece of conversation and for the
Super.
ideas. And we'll
Au
keep in
revoir.
touch.
Todo en
¿Cómo?
francés. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Todo en francés.
Au revoir. Chao.
Muy bien, voy a parar de grabar ahora.